What's going on, Jerome's? We're live from the undisclosed location talking about the Vikings UDFAs. Now, we probably could have done this video on Saturday night, except Daddy was a little bit burnt out, so what can you do? So, a little bit of R&R, and now let's go through the UDFA. So, now originally there was 9, but Trey Turner, the wide receiver, he decided to join the Raiders instead. Because, I mean, wouldn't you rather be in Vegas than Minneapolis? And I live there, whatever. So, starting at the top, you got safety Mike Brown coming out of Miami, Ohio. No, not the Mike Brown of the Bears. I think it went to Nebraska, I want to say. 6'1", 218, 36 tackles, 9.5 for locks, 1.5 sacks. Really gets after it down there in the box. Wide receiver Thomas Hennigan coming in from Appalachian State. Go Mountaineers, 6'1", 210. Now, he went undrafted because it was a great wide receiver class. Also, he ran a 4.7 40, which is not great. But he put up some great numbers over his career 5 seasons. 60 catches, 823 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns last year as a senior. Running back Bryant Koback from Toledo, 5'10", 209, great athlete. I think that he potentially could be this year's A.J. Rose in terms of being the preseason stud, even though the Vikings do have A.J. Rose on the rooster. Linebacker Zach McLeod. So McLeod and Luigi Villain, who we'll get to in a second. So McLeod got $250K guaranteed coming out of the U. That's just the U being the U. 6'2", 254, linebacker, defensive lineman, so he fits what the Vikings want to do with the new defensive scheme. 7.5 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks, 35 pressures. He's a guy that if he did get drafted in the 7th round, I don't think anyone would have blinked. So that's really interesting that the Vikings, even though they went away from edge rusher except for Odomehu in day 3, the Vikings are now racking and stacking up 2 really impressive UDFA edge rushers. Center Jake Sokol, Sacred Heart. Don't know much about him. 6'3", 290. So again, the undersized center motif. First team All NEC, which I believe is Northeast Conference. 2-year starter, team captain. There you go. Defensive tackle Tyrese Stevenson coming out of Tulsa. Now, this one is fascinating, man. He is 6'2". He is 352 if he's an ounce. Just an absolute monster. 79.7 PFF grade. He is a true 2-down, stuff it all in there, take up 2 gaps, take up 3 offensive lineman type guy. He is a big reason why Zaven Collins was a high draft pick last season coming out of Tulsa, where he was free to scrape and do everything because Stevenson was just absorbing bodies. I think that he's a name to watch for because the Vikings, they didn't draft a defensive interior player. And Diesel Dalvin is on the final year of his contract. Armand for Watts is coming up on his rookie deal, as well as Harrison Phillips. Who knows, right? So we'll see what happens with Stevenson. Luigi Villain coming out of Wake Forest, formerly at Michigan. Luigi Villain, by the way, it's the brother of Wario, if you think about it. 6'4", 252. He's another guy that if he would have gotten drafted in the 7th round, I don't think anyone would have blinked. But 8 sacks, 34 pressures, 3 forced fumbles last season for the Demon Deacons. He was a demon off the edge for Wake Forest, and it's really interesting and intriguing that he's in camp with the Vikings now. And also punter Ryan Wright out of Tulane, who was a punter. Competition for Jordan Berry. Now, it's fascinating that they didn't bring in a UDFA kicker to compete with Greg Joseph, which means that he is going to be that dude. But even if he was going to be that guy, a little bit of competition doesn't hurt. But the Vikings, as of right meow, have 1 spot open on the 90-man rooster. So we'll see if they sign another UDFA. We'll see what happens if they sign a UDFA tryout, as rookie camp is coming up as well, and we'll go from there. But that's it. That's run through the Vikings UDFAs. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.